4 Meji YouTube video K Lia Oper Jo Tum NY Story Lik KDHS K Oper Time En Strong Hook Lik K Do. Hook Jandar. Suspenseful our curiosity Sai Barpor Hona Chaye K Mary Veur Engage Ho Jn our video Ko NTK Dek and the warm aroma of tea filled the small room. Sunlight filtered through the thin curtains, casting strange shadows on the wooden floor. I sat across from my friends, feeling the quiet hum of conversation around me. The teacups clinked softly as we lifted them to our lips. At first, everything felt ordinary, familiar, and comforting. But then, a sudden chill ran down my spine. I noticed a faint, strange reflection in the window behind my friends. It was subtle, almost like a shadow moving independently of our bodies. I blinked, thinking it was a trick of the light. The wind whispered through the cracked window, carrying an unsettling draft. A cold sweat gathered on the back of my neck. The laughter at the table sounded distant, hollow, as if it were echoing from somewhere far away. I tried to focus on the tea, the warmth in my hands, the simple chatter. Then, one of my friends froze mid-sentence. Their eyes were wide, staring past me at something I could not see. A low, soft creak echoed from the corner of the room. My heartbeat thundered in my ears as the air grew heavier, almost oppressive. The reflection in the window shifted again, this time clearly forming a shape. It was not like any shadow I had seen before. I wanted to speak, to ask, to move, but my body felt paralyzed. The room felt smaller, the walls pressing in, and the tea grew cold in my trembling hands. The shadow stretched along the floor, reaching toward the table. It moved with an unnatural slowness, as if it were aware of every heartbeat in the room. My friends did not notice it, their laughter and chatter continuing as though nothing were wrong. I wanted to warn them, to scream, but the words would not come. The tea in my cup rippled violently, as though something invisible had brushed its surface. A metallic taste filled my mouth, sharp and bitter, though I had drunk nothing yet. The wind outside grew louder, rattling the window frames and carrying strange whispers that I could not understand. The shadows on the walls twisted and writhed like living creatures. I felt a pressure in my chest, a weight that made it difficult to breathe. My hands trembled, my knuckles white as I gripped the teacup, desperate for something solid to hold onto. The shadow in the window began to take shape, tall and thin, with limbs that bent at impossible angles. It moved silently, its presence unmistakable, though still just beyond the reach of light. I could hear my own heartbeat, thudding painfully in my ears, drowning out everything else. One of my friends leaned forward, spilling tea onto the table, but still they did not see. I realized with sudden horror that I might be the only one who could see it. The reflection no longer mimicked the room but moved independently, stalking along the window pane. Its eyes, if they could be called eyes, were dark hollows that seemed to drink in the light. I tried to stand, to step back, but my legs refused to obey. The shadow stretched one arm through the glass, or at least it looked like glass, distorting as it reached closer. I could feel a coldness seep into my very bones, an icy hand wrapping around my spine. The floorboards creaked under some unseen weight, as though it were moving inside the house. A sudden noise made me jump, a soft, deliberate tap, 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 like fingernails on wood. It was coming from behind me, yet I dared not turn my head. A faint whisper brushed my ear, chilling and indecipherable. The shadows on the walls began to crawl toward the center of the room, converging into a dark, writhing mass. I realized the room was no longer familiar. The furniture seemed distorted, elongated, as if the room had stretched while I was distracted. The light from the window flickered and dimmed, leaving only a gray haze that made everything appear unreal. My friends' faces were blank now, their expressions frozen, unblinking.